His Majesty elevated his beloved to the throne. He selected 3 women as palace assistants. The Grand Tutor's daughter, full of knowledge and a literary prodigy. The General's sister, skilled in archery, horseback riding, and unyielding in nature. And then there's me, neither connections nor talent. These hands manage the household and craft flavors. The night before entering the palace, my grandfather warned me to be cautious.
His Majesty allowing you into the palace, be mindful in all things, though there will surely be a fight for favor. My dear wish is for you to live your life peacefully.
I understand, Grandpa. Why should scholars disregard the king? Why do arrogant ride horses onto palace steps? Raised to the phoenix throne. Can't even recognize a single large character. Since I'm in this game, I won't settle for safety. I want to win. Since I've earned his favor, I won't settle for shared affection. I want. Keep it all to yourself. 3 years in the palace, Yuan Zhaoyan quarrels with his beloved empress once again.
Which one of the 3 esteemed ladies are you?
Your humble servant, Wu Qingyan. My grandfather was the magistrate of Nanzhao County.
Qingyan. Such a gentle woman. Why is your name bold and strong?
Your Majesty. Empress Gaozu, styled Lingyan, of southern Zhao, eternal legacy. My grandfather grew up hearing stories of the empress, admiring her deeply. He named me Qingyan, hoping I could follow her virtues and always remember the immense grace of the emperor.
If she were as sensible as you, how wonderful it would be.
Deep affection often leads to chaos. You care too much about His Majesty, Your Highness. It's late. Your Majesty, you should rest early. Night Without Dreams. By dawn, Yuan Zhaoyan faced away, fastening his belt, an old scar on his side. It runs diagonally from his ribs. Last night, fingertips.
I was somewhat drunk last night. This matter. Forget it.
Last night, only the emperor caught a cold. I merely served a bowl of sober-up soup. 3 years ago, when the emperor and empress were wed,
I vowed to give you a lifetime. Just the 2 of us.
the actions betrayed the vow. They must be erased.
I remember your parents passed early. You have one brother stationed at the northern border. Honored his service, granted title of Chinhu Commander. With you in the palace, you can have some peace of mind.
Thank you for your Majesty's grace.
I stood outside all night.
You didn't come out.
Yuan Zhaoyan. You betrayed our love. Who gave you the guts to climb into my man's bed?
Please calm down, Your Majesty.
I haven't done anything.
The emperor had a headache last night. I only made ginger tea for him. Do you think I'm easy to fool?
On the day you were crowned empress. Where's your vow? Where's your sincerity?
Did a dog eat them?
Enough. Your Majesty the Queen, you're out of line.
Yuan Zhaoyan. Is it me who's out of line?
Or have you had a change of heart? That day, the emperor skipped court. He found the queen sobbing in the royal garden. She cried. He soothed, and they returned to Fini Palace hand in hand.
The Queen decreed, since the noble lady enjoys making ginger tea so much, why not prepare a bowl for every eunuch in palace maiden?
Day 1, I spent 5 hours in the small kitchen. Distributed portions per name list. The stove burned from morning till day 3. My wrist was swollen. Day 7. A callus formed on my palm. The hot bowl burned my skin. Day 10. When serving the soup, the wooden spoon slipped from my hand. Noble Lady Zhou fanned, smile not reaching her eyes. Why put yourself through this, sister? You've gained his favor, but still won't ask his majesty for mercy? Noble Lady Feng crossed her arms, bluntly said, idiot. The empress tells you to make soup and you'd die tomorrow if she says so? I leaned back on the couch. The herbal wrap on my wrist still carried a bitter scent. Thanks for your concern, sister. How many will be left by tomorrow? Once they're gone, that's it. Lady Zhou is the Grand Tutor's daughter. Lady Feng is sister of a general. When it comes to family I'm at the bottom in this house. They came here today, not just to visit. Just as I thought.
Barely took a sip of tea.
Lady Zhou spoke calmly. Admire your temperament, but the palace isn't like the outside world. Enduring isn't a skill. The crying child gets milk. Talented woman from the Zhou family. She's probing the truth about that night with His Majesty. Yet her words are tactful. His Majesty chose 3 for the palace, picking one from scholarly, military, humble families. It was meant to assist openly while secretly maintaining balance. Who would have thought the Empress would be so forceful, pressing us into roles as noble consorts? Hard to even see the Emperor once. For 3 years, Zhou recited poetry, Feng practiced archery, and I was stuck in the kitchen making soups. The Emperor remains indifferent. The Empress turns a blind eye. But now, this balance of 3 households has been broken by me. The rest of them must not be too pleased, right? Why did His Majesty come that night, and what did he say? He arrived near dusk, drank tea, enjoyed the breeze, but felt unwell. He borrowed my place. His Majesty and Her Majesty share deep affection. What am I? A minor concubine who makes lamb soup. Your response is watertight. Lady Zhou resumed fanning, neither agreeing nor disagreeing. Lady Feng, failing to find out, put down her teacup. The curtain fell. The hall quieted down. They came not to form an alliance or hold us accountable, but to see which way the wind blows. Minister's daughter, general's sister. Behind them, the chancellor's estate and general's camp. And what can I rely on? Only a heart that has been through fire and water. After the bowl of ginger tea was prepared,
the Empress sent word. Starting today, the 3 noble ladies shall attend court morning and evening, as per tradition. Never let your guard down.
For the first time, I went to pay my respects. I was the first to arrive, standing quietly on the steps of Funi Palace. Noble Lady Zhou came next and gave me a nod. Noble Lady Feng last to arrive. She glanced at the shut palace doors, her boots striking the stone steps, echoing with every step. Arrogant. The sun hasn't even risen yet, but the rules are already out. Watch your words, sister. Careful, your words could slip through the door crack and be overheard. You'll be punished by making soup. Not until the sun's fully up. Do the palace doors properly open? The Empress sits at the head, dressed by rank, wearing grand attire from her coronation day. How guilty must one feel? Only on greeting ceremony days, wear Empresses' robes to assert presence. The 3 bowed deeply in respect. The Empress did not permit them to rise. For 3 years, I have been lenient with you, exempting you from morning and evening greetings. It seems some have forgotten their status. Words aimed at me. I lower my head, silent. Lady Zhou, daughter of the Grand Tutor, educated and read. You should know better than others what to say and what not to say. You're right, Your Majesty. Lady Feng, I respect the family's legacy of loyalty and valor, but the palace is not a military training. Those inappropriate riding boots. It's time to change them. As you command, Your Majesty. She stepped closer to the phoenix throne, the jewels swaying. She steadied her crown and took the tea from the maid. Noble consort Wu, are you feeling better now? Thank you for your concern, Your Highness. I'm much better now.
I've acquired a piece of Huiying.
Since you're well again, come and grind some ink for me. Grinding ink is a task senior palace maids don't do. This was meant to humiliate me. Walked to the desk, dipped the stone in water and bent down to grind. Before long, the old wound on my wrist began to tingle faintly. Your Highness, this ink looks like it's part of the batch from Huzhou's tribute. I heard there were only 3 pieces in total. One side, His Majesty's study, other, 3 dynasty elders' residence. The third party, it turns out, is here with Her Highness. Seems like, in His Majesty's eyes, Her Highness carries the same weight as the ministers outside.
Noble Lady Feng, what are you laughing at?
I just thought of something amusing. What amusing thing? My brother had a Fergana horse when he was in the Northwest. The wild horse arrived at camp, kicking and thinking such a fine saddle should surely suit it. But after wearing the saddle, the horse kicked. Horses don't care if saddles are gilded. Even the priciest saddle pressing down is still pressing down. They don't recognize that. The Empress's face darkened, the pearl phoenix crown pressed on her head while every word was dripping with sarcasm towards her. Noble Lady Feng, who are you talking about? I'm talking about horses, Your Majesty. Who does Your Majesty think I'm talking about?
Audacious, the phoenix crown is heavy.
The crown slipped from her hair, scattering jewels and tilting gold. An eastern pearl rolled away.
It stopped by noble Lady Feng's riding boots.
The palace maids panicked and rushed to pick up the crown. The Empress screamed as the maid holding her hair trembled in fear. Hair strands clung to the maid's fingers. The Empress, in pain and tears, retaliated with a slap. The maid knelt, covering her face, while another tried to free tangled hair amid chaos. She tugged the Empress's earring.
The Empress screamed again.
Lady Zhou and Lady Feng exchanged glances. Lady Feng nudged the pearl near her feet. Back toward Lady Zhou, who nudged it in return. A eunuch's voice echoed outside the hall.
His Majesty has arrived.
When Yuan Zhaoyan entered, the hall was chaotic. Maids knelt, the Empress sat at the head. Her hair undone, eyes red in fury.
Still holding my scalp, what happened here?
Jian, these women teamed up to bully me.
Your Majesty, discern the truth. I was praising the Empress's inksticks, mentioning there are 3. His Majesty uses one, the Grand Secretary uses another, the Empress the last one. This shows how highly Your Majesty regards the Empress. Every word I spoke was out of respect, unsure which line caused misunderstanding. I simply told a funny story about a saddle to amuse the Empress. If the Empress feels I was being sarcastic, then it's my fault for being clumsy with my words. This humble servant begs Your Majesty for forgiveness.
I thought it was something serious. It's just a routine greeting today. Why are you all dressed up so extravagantly? Must be exhausting.
You're not standing up for me, and now you're blaming me for being an embarrassment, right?
These people show respect on the surface but mock me behind my back, calling me a country girl.
I'm going to wear it. Let them open their eyes wide and take a good look. A country girl like me is now standing above them all. The Empress spoke while crying.
Yuan Zhaoyan's face darkened bit by bit. Yutong, you are the Empress now. I rejected the entire court. Defied opposition to put you in this position. You couldn't recognize a single word. I had top female officials teach you. You learned it. You sat by my side to attend court. Learn how this empire operates. I want to give you half of the world. But Yutong, when will you ever grow up?
Why? A man like him, forget the emperor, among noble sons, you won't find another like him. Yet, such a man. I can see him, but can't touch him. Some village girl beat me to him. Who cares about all that?
Yuan Zhaoyan, if I had the choice again, I'd rather you never remember.
Stay with me forever in Tianshui village. Farming, beating chickens, growing old together.
You're pushing me too far.
Rain drizzled half a day. Struggled moving half-dead plants indoors. Then, footsteps came. Yuan Zhaoyan stood in the corridor, his dragon robe damp at the shoulder. Your Majesty, shall I bring some honey brew and enjoy the rain with Your Majesty?
Inside the room,
the honey brew simmered, bubbling with steam. Yuan Zhaoyan dismissed everyone, sipped osmanthus brew. He leaned back. He didn't speak for a long time.
When I was in Tianshui village, there was a crooked osmanthus tree by the village gate. When the flowers bloom, half the village is filled with the scent. Back then, the Empress wasn't called Yutong yet. She was Cyflower. I woke up on a broken wooden board. Couldn't remember anything. She stood beside me with a bowl of dark medicine, using her sleeve to wipe the rim. Her sleeve was dirtier than the bowl. I asked her who she was. She said, I'm your wife. I said I didn't remember. She shoved a bowl of medicine in my hand and said, drink it, and you'll remember.
Yuan Zhaoyan was the 7th son of the late emperor. His mother, a palace maid from the coal palace, had no title. She caught cold
and fell ill. She didn't make it through.
He grew up in the coal palace. With no one to teach him, he snuck into the library and taught himself to read. and read by window light. No one taught him archery, so he carved a bow from a tree branch and practiced at the palace walls. When teaching princes, the grand preceptor listened from outside, then wrote it down until his fingers froze. He alone faced the harshest battlefield.
Fought against the northern
Pacified the southwest, reclaimed Hishi, gained military power gradually. Then, he removed older brothers who stood in his way. Disappeared from the court. When the late emperor grew old, bedridden, and opened his eyes, only this son remained.
I had so many children. And yet, only you are left. Forget it. After this battle, once victory is ours. Take the throne, the final battle.
He led the army. They won, but fell off his horse, hit his head on a rock, and woke up. He remembered nothing. What a handsome man. But with such serious in, can he even survive? If he dies just like that, what a waste it would be. Yuan Zhaoyan was lying on a rocky shore back then. A bloody hole on his forehead. Old scars under armor. Kizawa cleaned his wounds with spirits. Tore up her old clothes to wrap him up. He burned with fever for 3 days and nights. She stayed by his side, mumbling, "You can't die. Who will I ask for medicine money?" On the 4th day, fever broke, opened eyes. He saw her holding rice soup. "You're finally awake."
My husband.
"Get up, have water." That year was his carefree time. That was the only time in his life he didn't have to fight. Nor did he have to scheme. Later, he remembered. The day she came to the capital, he was already the emperor. These walls are so tall, they even block the sky. Aren't you bored inside?
I won't be bored with you.
Hu Saihua was deemed common, unworthy of her. Changed her name to Yu Tang. On the day of the coronation, Hu Yu Tang dressed in a phoenix robe. The headdress made her neck stiff. "It's all right."
I will hold your hand throughout.
On that day, the court knelt down. He thought, share half the empire with her. But she doesn't want it. Rain pattered on the tiles. I pushed the wine bowl toward him. "Your Majesty, the wine's getting cold."
Qingyan. I gave her the entire world. What more could she want?
The Empress wants to be the only one in Yuan Zhaoyan's heart, but your Majesty wants her to secure the throne. It's not you gave too little. It's that you're asking for different things. We're not in the same place. Your Majesty has given all possible. If you give more, would you still be your Majesty?
But what should I do? Qingyan, tell me, what should I do?
If your Majesty doesn't know, then do nothing. In the Jingxin Palace, your Majesty can just be a tired man, sit down, have a bowl of wine, play a game of chess. His shoulders started to shake. A sting soaked through his chest. After a long time, he finally looked up. Calling my name twice, he couldn't hold back anymore. Our heated breaths intertwined. Countless kisses fell like a storm.
Qingyan. I wish it were you I had met from the very beginning.
As the curtains fell, the lights in Fini Palace are still on. This is all what Xiao Shunzi later told me.
That night, the Empress learned His Majesty stayed with you again.
Get out. All of you, get out.
She drove everyone out. Sat in front of dressing table. Staring at that pearl-laden crown for a long time. The Empress washed off her makeup, revealing a face once tanned by the sun.
The son of Tianshui village, 3 years in the palace couldn't lighten it. She put the phoenix crown on. Then took it off again. Over and over. It just didn't fit right. She gave up. Placed crown on dressing table. Walked to the window. Moonlight streamed over palace walls.
One enclosing another.
She stood there for a long time, then suddenly let out a laugh. The maid outside heard it but didn't dare come in.
Check on Her Majesty?
Are you crazy?
Afraid the Empress might go and
Start hitting people again?
same as last time. She'll be fine after a while.
Yuan Zhaoyan. Liar. Said with me here, you wouldn't feel lonely anymore.
Been 3 years, still lonely.
Pushed the window open. Night breeze swept in. Hall remained unlit. The maids heard a noise and went in with lanterns, but there was no one at the dressing table. The phoenix crown lay before the mirror, with a blank paper beneath. It only showed a crooked tree, in full bloom. When Hu Yutong jumped. She was wearing the floral blouse she had brought from Tianshui village. No cry, no weeping. Even the fall was muffled. The night-watching eunuch found her. At first, he thought it was clothes blown down by the wind. He brought the lantern closer to look. Only then did I see that face illuminated by the moonlight. The eunuch knelt outside Quiet Heart Palace. His voice trembled.
Your Majesty, the Empress. She jumped. My condolences, Your Majesty.
Yuan Zhaoyan's hand rested on my waist. The stove fire was unattended. The warmth slowly faded away. Didn't ask why. Didn't say a word. Sat by the edge of the bed. His back was hunched. Aged 10 years instantly, he stood up and headed to the Phoenix Palace. He stumbled at the doorway. He grabbed the door frame and stood there for a moment, and then he kept walking forward. The morning court went on as usual. The memorials were reviewed as usual. He sat on the throne, hearing officials' reports. One decision after another was made, just like every other day. From outside, bells rang from Phoenix Chamber, one after another. Gradually, someone noticed something.
What bells are these? They don't sound like morning bells.
Ceremonial bell rung during coronation. His Majesty is deeply devoted. An entire hour, 64 times. His Majesty chose to honor his late Empress in the way she despised the most. The phoenix robes were too heavy, and the crown too burdensome. He did it the way she hated most. I saw her off for the last time. The Empress and His Majesty have been at odds, twice breaking up because I shared his bed. Men never look in the mirror. They blame the one who made them break their vows. I can't wait his blade to fall. Outside the royal stud, it's been 7 days since I left. Yuan Zhaoyan refuses to see me. It's almost dark again. Eunuch Hai's wrinkles bun.
Your Grace, please go back. Now's not the time to get close. If you upset His Majesty, no one will end up well.
The lantern's candle was replaced twice. Finally, the door opened. Light in Imperial study was dim. Yuan Zhaoyan sat at the desk, not reacting to a sound. I took items out of the food box, arranging them neatly. After setting them down, I stepped back and knelt. The red brush moved across the memorial. I knelt silently. For a long time, I heard his mocking tone.
Wu Qingyan.
You don't actually think that with Yutong gone, your chance has come, do you?
I wouldn't dare.
Oh, you dare plenty. Stop scheming. Don't mistake my interest for your chance.
He really wants to kill me. I didn't come for a chance. I came worried you'd be too heartbroken to eat. My dumplings aren't as refined as those from the royal braised tofu. It's just simple countryside. I just don't want. No one left brave enough to bring you a meal. The grip around my neck loosened. He turned his face. The ice began to thaw. Water is flowing.
Aren't you afraid I'll kill you?
I am. I'm afraid you'll starve to death. I don't have anyone to be afraid of.
You're bold to say that.
He waved for me to rise. My knees were numb from kneeling. I stumbled as I got up. He didn't look back. I reached out, walking lightly. I kept my head down, reached out to clear the dishes.
I said you could clear them.
Enjoy your meal. I take my leave. Outside the study, the night breeze rushed by, sleeves empty. The food box was left inside. Take care, my lady. The wrinkles on Eunuch Hai's face deepened. The lantern's glow fades one by one behind me. Not until the corner did I dare to exhale. Ruled the world and amassed wealth. I fought on the battle and worked the farmlands. I had everything, except for a heart that loves without reason. Luckily, I gambled right. The promotion decree arrived after New Year.
Feng Xiangying titled Imperial Consort D. Zhou Lanjing titled Imperial Consort Xian. Wu Qingyan titled Imperial Concubine Zhao. Congratulations, Your Majesty. Promoted to Imperial Concubine Zhao. This ranks high enough for the Royal Jade Records.
Yuan Zhaoyan has clever moves. 3 pawns elevated all at once. Leaves us all hanging in suspense. It's a stalling tactic. It sends a message to the ministers below. He's picking and choosing, ensuring the Zhou and Feng families stay in line. On the 3rd day after the promotion, Yuan Zhaoyan summoned Consort to chambers on the 5th day. He summoned Consort Xian. The next day, Consort to return to the training ground. Lambskin boots. A crimson whip in hand, riding a Fergana horse, circling the field over and over. The training ground wasn't enough. She rode her horse around the side palace instead. A servant sweeping the wine spilled too slow and got whipped off his feet by a rider.
Spare me, Your Grace.
I'll leave right away.
Ha ha ha. Look at you! The emperor praised her boots, so she stopped wearing embroidered shoes. Meanwhile, noble consort Xian feels pleased with herself. Showing talents in front of the emperor, chatting about life. Even wrote a calligraphy piece. The emperor praised it a few times. 2 are working angles, one with wit, the other with strength. Fighting desperately for favor. In the Silent Heart Palace, little Shunzi squats in the courtyard counting ants. Xiaoli and Xiaoping keep moving pots of flowers in and out. With nothing else to do, they just stare blankly at the dewdrops on the leaves. When Yuan Zhaoyan arrived, I was leaning against a pillar. I had just thrown up the half bowl of porridge I'd drunk. The waistline of my autumn coat was visible. My belly was slightly round. It was then he realized I was 4 months pregnant.
Wuqingyan, you deserve to die. Why didn't you say so earlier? If I had really killed you back then, would you have died along with my child?
I froze in shock, my knees buckling as I knelt. But he held me steady. This child is left by someone I deeply love. I don't want to treat them as a tool. Don't want to seem vying for attention. Years ago, grandfather told me. A young general won a battle, rode into the city, and lifted me onto his shoulders as the crowd watched. Too small to see. When the crowd dispersed, a figure on horseback appeared, armor caked with mud and blood. His cape billowed in the wind, just like a hero from a storybook. That child was the closest I've ever been to that heroic figure. I can't bear to trade him for anything. Your Majesty, you gave all your love to the Empress. Can you leave this child to me? News of my pregnancy has spread throughout the palace. Consort Zhou was the first to visit. You hid it so well, 4 months, not a single hint leaked out. Forgive me, sister, I didn't mean to hide it. I just didn't know how to say it. Now that you're with child, this Jingxi Hall won't stay so peaceful anymore. I don't understand what you mean, sister. Oh, you do. Consort De whipped for 3 years and got the hang of it. You're carrying His Majesty's first child now. That woman, she won't blame her own womb for being unsuccessful. She'll only blame others for being too fruitful. Don't blame me for speaking out of turn, but His Majesty's first child is of utmost importance. If it turns out to be a princess, well, that's one thing. But if it's a prince, what could she use to compete? Don't get what you're saying, sister. A healthy child is a blessing. Why fight over it? Silly girl. If there's no one of influence from the previous dynasty to back him, once the child is born, who will secure his place in court? These things, the emperor won't think about them for you. Have you thought it through yourself? Sister, I won't speak in riddles. We entered the palace the same year. Concubine Da has military power, but I have the scholar's support. If we join forces, the child has 2 strong backers. If we don't, child only has you. Think it over carefully, sister. You know, sometimes a single wrong step can lead to disaster. It'll be a point of no return. Lady Xian has left. The Xiangfei fan is left on the table. Meant to reflect while looking at the fan? The Zhou family holds power all over the court. Do I have the right to say no? Lady Da arrived shortly after. The maid carried a food box. She placed it on the table as she walked in, revealing 2 braised pig trotters. She sat down, poured herself some tea, and drank it all in one go. When my sister-in-law was pregnant, she craved this. Try it. I thanked her, reluctantly took a small bite. But I lost my appetite. Consort De wiped her hands with a cloth. Her gaze drifted from my belly to the Xiangfei fan on the table. Let me guess. Did he say if this child is a prince, your humble origins make you powerless at court? What can I fight back with? I didn't deny it. Consort De sneered. The Zhou family is backed by scholars, but if you go with her, the child will have to call her mother. With her holier-than-thou attitude, will she let the biological mother stay? I won't say flowery words, nor do I need your child to call me mother. I only want you. Don't choose her. Leather boots faded away. On the table lay the Xiangfei fan and the shiny pork knuckle. These 2. One is the daughter of a scholar, the other the sister of a general, raised in prestigious families. How could there be fools? They're waiting for me to say something. And if I want to survive, not a word can be said. By the time I returned to the Tai Chi Hall, it was late at night. Little Shunzi led with a lantern. I walked slowly, weighing odds and heart. In a 3-way standoff, the weaker side doesn't fall first. to follow predecessors' footsteps, eat the bread of the dead. It wouldn't be too sinister, would it?
Grandpa Hai saw from afar, but didn't announce my arrival. He simply stepped aside and pushed the door halfway open. I walked in, about to give my greeting. The baby in my belly shifted, and I let out a gasp of pain. He turned at the sound, his weariness breaking into a smile.
Oh, why are you here? Didn't you say you didn't want me involved and wanted to raise them yourself? Now you finally care?
My face flushed red instantly. I bit my lip and stayed silent.
Weren't you quite outspoken that day in the Hall of Serenity? What happened now? Cat got your tongue?
Not here to beg, Your Majesty.
Oh, then what are you here for?
To ask Your Majesty if you've had lunch yet.
Wu Qingyan, oh Wu Qingyan, that mouth of yours. Tougher than consort does whip. When it's soft. It seems your brain isn't working proper, asking me at midnight if I've had lunch.
My face turned red with embarrassment. I wished I could just disappear.
What's going on? You won't say? I'm really tired.
I want to raise this child myself. Is that okay? Consort Da has military support. Consort Xian backs the reformists. Handing the child to Consort Xian may upset Consort Da. Handing the child to Consort Da will upset Consort. If no one takes baby, I'll raise baby myself. But those two consorts won't be happy. If I raise it myself, it will put His Majesty in a difficult. If His Majesty stays calm, the consorts will trouble me. If I'm troubled, then His Majesty ends up being troubled again. Round and round it goes. Doesn't it always end up with His Majesty being troubled? Yuan Zhaoyan's mouth twitched. I know my status is low. This child staying with me might have a tough life in the future, but it's still my own blood. I wouldn't agree regardless of who it's given to. Tears roll uncontrollably down my cheeks, and I wipe them with choked up. I can't get any words out. Stories often say the previous dynasty's palace was full of schemes. Even the emperor has to weigh the pros and cons. He can't just do whatever he wants.
Stop reading so many of those stories. I'd rather you play cards instead.
The night grows deeper. Candles in the Hall of Harmony have burned out. The dragon bed is huge. He asks me to lie on the inner side. In the dark. He stays silent. You miss the Empress, Your Majesty? I miss her too.
You don't hate her? She did bully you before.
That wasn't bullying. It was fear, plain and simple, afraid of losing you and not knowing how to handle it. Like a child guarding their favorite toy. Pushing away anyone close, without a thought. A quiet stillness surrounded me. Someone beside me murmured.
So, this is how it is?
I nodded. Suddenly, I remembered something and chuckled quietly. Although I haven't interacted much with Her Majesty the Empress, I have heard plenty about her. It was spring 2 years ago. Her Majesty flew a kite in the garden. She ran fast holding the string, visible from Tranquility Hall. I've heard she chopped greenery in the garden, built a fence to raise chicks, then cleared a patch to sow wheat, saying she'd harvest it to make flour and steam buns for His Majesty. Back then, I thought, the Empress sure knows how to enjoy life.
Doesn't this seem out of place for her status?
The palace is full of people mindful of their status. Perhaps she's just afraid that His Majesty might forget the journey you've been through together.
The journey you've been through?
The night grew deep and heavy. Those around him had been silent for a very long time. He gave everything he had, wanting to place the most precious things in the world before her. Never thought these things were too heavy. Heavy enough to crush the Husaihua who once ran on the field, only dreaming of enough food and clothes. He ruined her kite. Pulled out her wheat shoots. She dared not think further. Some sins are better left unthought. They stay buried in the well, but once pulled out, they can never be sunk back down. The decree appointing her noble consort arrived. Chief Eunuch Hai delivered it personally. Behind him marched eunuchs carrying consort robes and royal seal. Jingxi Hall's courtyard is too small. The lineup extended past the threshold.
Your Grace, His Majesty said Jingxi Hall is remote and wishes for you to move to the side hall of Taiji Hall.
It'll be easier for His Majesty to visit the child.
Taiji Hall is the emperor's residence. No concubine has lived there before.
On moving day, Yuan Zhaoyan arrived after court. Shaoli brought in the flowers. These withered plants. Moved from Jingxi Hall to Taiji Hall, leaves curled up.
Why move ordinary flowers? Have the greenhouse bring rare ones and replace them daily.
Keep them. His Majesty can water them himself. These plants will revive under his care.
I'm watering. Watering with palace maids. What's the difference?
Big difference. Your Majesty, true son of heaven, water infused with dragon, works better than fertilizer. In just a few months. Right after midnight. Half asleep. Suddenly felt heat below me, didn't even have time to scream. The first wave of pain crashed through my lower back. It hurt so much everything went black.
The midwives rushed in all at once.
The lead midwife lifted the blanket and checked. One finger dilated, Your Grace. Endure it, no rush to give birth. Grandmother always said, a midwife stays close by. But this old hag is sitting outside, drinking tea. I screamed for Shaoli. The midwife blocked the screen, stopping.
Your Majesty. Urgent news from the Northwest.
Emperor refuses to see anyone in 2 night shift physicians at Imperial Clinic treat minor ailments. Xiao Shunzi drag Chin Mama out and gag her mouth. The 2 midwives are trembling in the corner. I gritted my teeth and threatened them. Plotting against the royal heir means death for the whole clan. Whoever saves the child properly will be rewarded with 1,000 silver and showered with glory and wealth. Before my body gave in, I was still thinking, sigh. Being a man is really nice. Just a quick shake and it's all. And then it was all about women. When Yanku turned 1 month old, news of the Zhou family's collapse spread rapidly. When the wall crumbles, everyone reports piled up at the censorate. Selling official ranks, smuggling salt and iron, traces of colluding with the enemy were uncovered. He reviewed them one by one, writing his comments. Adult men sentenced to death. The women were taken onto the ships. Leaders of the refined literati, noble families of power and prestige, gone in a single night. Not a trace remained. When White Silk Edict reached Changle Palace, Zhou Lanqing took off her crown. The silk was folded. She stood up.
Her skirt brushed past the threshold.
The maids tried to stop her, but she shoved them aside. By the time they chased, Lady Zhou had run through the corridor. Her hair trailed, whipping in the wind like a flag. The maids caught up and pinned her down, fumbling and sweating.
Yuan Zhaoyan. Come out, let's talk face to face. Started writing at 3, mastered prose by 5, passed imperial exams under false name at 14. They denied me a position, though I craft flawless theses. Barred from court, and now lose to these peasants. Why? The maids, sweating, struggled to restrain her. They almost couldn't hold her down.
The eunuch delivering the decree strolled over slowly, glancing at the ground.
Why isn't this cleaned up? You save the emperor and the noble consort from this filth.
The white silk unfurled with a sharp snap. Maids fumbled, looping it around her neck. It tightened, unforgivingly.
Let me go. Yuan Zhaoyan, you'll die a horrible death.
Her shattered voice escaped like air from a bellows, defiant. When the eunuch returned to report, Yuan Zhaoyan is holding daughter. The tiny baby lies in his arms, babbling and clutching the jade ring on his thumb. He soothes Nian Ku. He casually says,
Since she's eager for integrity, there's no need to bury her. Turn her into lamp oil and gift it to the students in the Hanlin Academy to light their lamps. Let her watch the essays and debates night after night. That way, I'll be doing her a favor as well.
Yuan Zhaoyan leaves. The footsteps were light.
But I wasn't asleep at all.
On the day I gave birth. Who was playing tricks behind the scenes? An urgent report from the Northwest. Late at night, the palace door was knocked, and the Emperor's study stayed lit till dawn. The 2 night duty physicians only know how to treat minor headaches and fevers. Chen Nanny was His Majesty's assigned midwife. But she might not have been following Yuan Zhaoyan's orders. Each of these things makes sense on its own.
But when they're all connected,
it's no longer a coincidence.
I used to calculate everything, thinking I was the most dangerous one. But now I see. The dangerous one was never me.
it's the noble Zhou family. The Feng family controls the Northwest, planned it all. Using the Empress's title to balance power, giving Zhou and Feng families a chance, but what he didn't expect.
The Empress will jump off the highest step of Funi Palace.
So, he picked up a chess piece, me, and raised me high enough for the whole palace to look in awe. The Zhou and Feng families grew restless. Empress departs, Wu Qingyan succeeds. A girl from the countryside, dragging dignity into the mud.
When people panic, mistakes happen.
You find the perfect spot to strike.
The Zhou family acted first, eager.
Start with the Zhou family.
He stays out of it, quietly watching, possibly giving things a nudge.
Cold sweat keeps seeping, cold.
If I had been a fraction slower, we would have ended dead.
He only needed to redden his eyes and investigate.
The entire Zhou family would be executed.
The Feng family implicated, erased completely.
Nianku started learning at 5, taught personally by Yuan Zhaoyan.
Stroke by stroke.
She wrote characters for Yuan Nianku on rice paper. Once she learned to write, he taught her to read.
Nianku reads in a soft childish tone.
My little Nianku. Smarter than old scholars at the Hanlin Academy.
So, Nianku helps father review memorials? She grabbed the red brush, on a memorial for greetings. She scribbled a wobbly circle.
Nianku is amazing. Father sent back the memorial Nianku reviewed.
Rain dripping beneath eaves echoed.
Yuan Zhaoyan turned over, pulled me into his arms.
Wu Qingyan. I've thought about it for a long time. Some things. It's time to let go. I still remember. The day Nianku was born. I rushed from the imperial study. You were lying on the bed. Your face was as pale as a sheet. You held me and called me Jian. At that moment, I thought, if you never wake up, I'll owe another life in this lifetime. I decided, after the farming festival, I would make you my empress.
While I was selecting the empress's attire, I received a letter from Ling Jun. I wondered why the letter arrived early. Opening it, I understood.
His Majesty met a young lady en route to the harvest festival. She looks exactly like the late empress. The royal carriage has been halted for 3 days.
The return date is uncertain. Such a perfect resemblance to the late empress. Yuan Zhaoyan returned to the palace and moved a woman to the Taiji Palace. The decree arrived, ordering me to move out of the side hall of Taiji Palace. The Anning Palace is magnificent. Halfway across the palace grounds from Taiji Palace, he sighed, hunched over.
The emperor is just acting on a whim. You're still in his heart, your majesty.
I smiled but said nothing. Even a mighty emperor can cast aside all principles when it comes to that person. We turned down a narrow path. Ahead, the sound of hoofs echoed. Consort de rode a horse whip at her waist. Your Majesty, I am listening. Anning Palace isn't ready yet. Rest in my Penlai Palace instead. It's my first time here. Horse whips line half the wall. Longbows rest on the rack. The arrows in the quiver glint brightly. A clay pot sits on the windowsill with a few dry sea buckthorn branches. Back in the northwest, my brother's tent was like this, bows on the wall, belt on the ground. Sea buckthorn on the windowsill. My brother found sea buckthorn beautiful. I found it He said beautiful things are always prickly. Not anymore. Horses can't be ridden out of the palace. Bows can't be drawn. Run 2 laps daily behind Penlai Palace. After some casual chat, Shaoli reports back, saying Anning Palace has been tidied up. I get up to leave. Consort de accompanies to Palace Gate. Her tone is relaxed. Surprisingly, after years, His Majesty still can't get past that hurdle. She stepped to the threshold. She stopped in her tracks. Now we're closer. If you have any matter, just let me know. The Empress's matters are shelved, no embroidery design sent, no inquiries from the Imperial Household Department, all quiet. I've been in the palace, consort de visits for chats. I oversee Nianku's growth and studies. Life was peaceful. That day, consort de visited my palace. As she left, Xiao Shunzi came running.
Madam, the princess was punished by His Majesty. She missed His Majesty afterward. So she went to the Hall of Supreme Harmony. His Majesty isn't here, only that girl is. The princess said she'd wait for her father, but that girl refused. The princess was punished by kneeling at the Tai Chi Hall entrance after a conflict and His Majesty's return.
When we rushed over, Nianku was kneeling at the base of the stone steps outside the hall. Her back was straight and firm.
Mother. Nianku wanted to wait for father to return.
The sister told Nianku to leave.
She said this is her home, calling Nianku a thief.
The little body in my arms was tense like a bow. In no time, it soaked the front of my robe. I told Xiao Shunzi and Shaoli to take Nianku back first. The tiny figure disappeared around the corner. I turned to push the door.
Are you sure about this, Your Grace? Once this door is pushed open, some things can never be mended again.
What did Nianku do wrong to kneel outside the hall, barging into a home? How is that different from an uninvited guest? A princess with no class. Name is written on the plaque in Hall of Supreme Harmony. You stormed across the palace grounds to see father, yet accused me of lacking manners. You barged in uninvited and lectured the consort and princess about etiquette. So, what would you call that?
Nianku kneeling will teach something. As her mother, you don't need to shield her from everything.
In Anning Palace, Nianku practices calligraphy.
Mother, how's my writing?
Excellent. At night, curls up under the brocade quilt.
Father has forgotten me. But it's okay. I'll study hard and, when I grow up, I'll protect mother. No one will make her kneel. And neither will I.
Lately, Consort has been visiting Anning Palace often. The emperor took a girl out of the palace in the royal carriage, wearing a pearl tiara with 3 phoenix. The whole city saw it. They said she went to Lantian for inspiration, forcing the old woman who gave porridge to eat cold leftovers. Even broke the teacher's ruler. Sent him wandering.
Nyanku's pen stopped.
The words were slanted and unreadable. If this continues, she'll walk all over us. It's heartbreaking. If we can't fight, then we won't. News of Langhua's pregnancy spread within a month. The palace watched the emperor's face, treating her like royalty. She saw Yuan Zhaoyan in court. He had her hide behind the screen, then pout and block Yuan Zhaoyan's way.
Why are you the only one people kneel to? Wish to be master.
Alright. Starting today, concubines greet you respectfully. They will visit your palace morning and evening to pay.
As consort De and I greeted her, Langhua sat back with legs crossed at the imperial desk. Yuan Zhaoyan held an ice pastry to her lips.
It's too sweet. I'm not drinking it.
We knelt and greeted her in unison. She tapped her boot and said, leave. Recite prayers kneeling. She leaned out and commanded me and consort De. I knelt outside praying for her for 2 hours with consort De. When we stood up, standing was hard. For 6 whole months. I knelt until calluses formed. The swords, boots, and whip in consort De's Penglai, all of them burned to ashes on Yuan Zhaoyan's orders after long. Everything gone, just like that. Langhua's belly grew larger. Her morning sickness was severe. The royal kitchen prepared something new daily. She took a bite, set it aside, saying it wasn't fresh.
Too bland.
Too salty, overcooked.
Go to Lantian and bring the best chef.
They brought one, cooked for 2 days. She said it didn't taste like when she was young. Switched to another, still not the same. The third chef knelt at the shop door, scared to lift his head. She leaned back and said, forget it. Let's just make do.
Thank you, Your Majesty, for your kindness.
Bored, Yuan Zhaoyan arranged daily performances, flute, pipa, kongho. She listened and said it was too noisy. They brought a blind eru player from Lantian to sit under the main hall's veranda, playing a tune on the eru.
She was pleased and rewarded you. Kneel to pick it up. Coins clattered on the floor.
Blind man knelt, feeling for coins. For every coin he picked, every dawn, we knelt outside the main hall. If waking up late, would kneel, recite scriptures, the Diamond Sutra, the Lotus Sutra, the Earth Store Sutra, one by one, from start to finish. Once reciting the Earth Store Sutra. Not until hell is empty will I attain Buddhahood. Aegean. Are they cursing me to hell by chanting this?
If you say so, then yes.
And so that day, consort De and I got slapped twice each for speaking out of turn, at 8 months pregnant. Langhua, pregnant, leaned on the couch, watching kneeling shadows outside the door, finding it boring. Pointless.
You two, go back to the palace.
As we left, Langhua told Yuan Zhaoyan I'm like a block of wood.
Boring. Not as amusing as consort De puffed up with anger.
But still having no choice but to.
This is what makes it fun.
With her looks, if she has a son. Who else could be queen but her? Glanced back at Taiji Palace. If she weren't here. I suddenly snapped back to realized I said the wrong thing. She didn't probe further. Her eyes shifted, never mind. I got some good tea here. Come over and have a seat. The Penglai Palace has changed. Bows and arrows. Only shadows from hooks remain. When I knelt outside the Hall of Supreme Harmony reciting prayers, I thought the same. Thought about it constantly, then understood grudges can't rob humanity. Resolute determination matters. How long since Nyanku? If that child were born in His Majesty's eye, would there still be room for Nyanku? Can it be tolerated? Nyanku is a princess. If Langhua has a boy, once we, mother and daughter, fall out, how can we compete with Langhua? I stayed silent. The tea had gone completely cold. Sister. How to protect Nyanku? Don't care. But Nyanku shouldn't have to suffer with me. If the fetus is large, 8 out of 10 chance of a difficult delivery. Things in the delivery room change in an instant. No one can guarantee perfection. Don't worry about a thing. Focus on what to do in the delivery. Is calmly watch over the child. Don't worry. Won't involve you in this. Midwife is sent by the Imperial Household Department. The cook joined Lantian. None have to do with me. Why? Phone families rise again. From now on in this palace, no one will dare make me kneel to recite scriptures. You'll be the empress. This child will be your prince. What I phone family's power and aiding the new emperor. In 100 years, as long as history records that the phone family served the nation, that will be enough. Do you really trust me that much? You don't understand. Everything I've done has been for this. How long have you been waiting? Go back. Don't ask what you shouldn't. You already asked. Farewell to riches and power. Cold wind sweeps the hall. Candlelight in Penglai Palace flickers, extinguished by wind, struggles to reignite. In Anning Palace. Nian Ke lies in bed, only her eyes peeking out.
Nian Ke heard my conversation with Consort De. She is deep in thought. She knows asking for help means exchanging chips. No one helps for free. What Consort De said today is a smokescreen. She doesn't care about Langhua's death. Langhua is dead. Fewer concubines competing for favor. She wanted Langhua to birth a prince. Then Yuan Zhaoyan would die. With the prince ascending the throne, she'd become regent empress dowager, and the Feng family loyalists restoring order. How would Yuan Zhaoyan die? Someone must kill him. Me, Wu Qingyan. The demon concubine who assassinated the emperor is executed, while the Feng clan protects the prince's rise. History remembers Feng Qiangying as, when I'm shoved out with that child, the Wu family will be branded scapegoats, knowing there's a hook beneath the bait.
Once bitten, no escape. Mother. Nyaka won't take the bait. Mother won't eat either.
Nian Ku. Remember this. Bait isn't something you can't eat, it's worth eating. Some bait gets swallowed, leaving nothing behind, not even bones. Plans its escape before biting the hook. If two baits are in front of you, one paving a path and the other promising, which would you choose?
Then choose. Pick the one who's destined to.
Who's set to win in this palace? The one standing at the top is the winner.
Mother, I understand now.
Consort Virtue wants to force me into a corner, leaving me no choice but to become the blade in her hand. She still thinks I'm the timid concubine who entered the palace 9 years, meek, powerless, drifting like a leaf in this harem for 9 years. How could she not see it? Feng family has been stripped of power. Day by day, they decline, while my Wu family, though advancing slowly, is steadily placing people in key positions. These arrogant noble families, they're just lucky to stand in the wind, mistaking it for the wind lifting them up. Kufeng just passed by and uprooted those who couldn't stand, on the day the waves gave birth. The capital saw the winter's heaviest snowfall. Screams escaped door cracks as the midwife carried bloody water. Yuan Zhaoyan paced outside the hall.
At the corridor.
Silent, silver-gray armor appeared. It was the armor of the Northwest Barracks.
Oh. General Feng.
General. Am I still a general? Was I dismissed by His Majesty? Punished to guard the city gates?
Feng Shua. You know what mistakes you've made. Embezzling military pay. Falsifying battle achievements. Any one of these is enough for me to convict you 100 times over.
But does Your Majesty know how many soldiers in the Northwest camp still wear thin clothes in winter?
Boots with holes, blood seeps in.
Toes frostbitten, stitched up with needles. And they keep marching. I asked the Ministry of Revenue for silver. They said the military pay had already been allocated. Where's the silver then? It all went into the pockets of those pure officials. I didn't withhold a penny. Now the soldiers are going to freeze to death in the heavy snow. Falsified battle reports. Is it because you fear I'll overshadow you? Afraid soldiers in the Northwest camp will obey Feng Shua over the emperor? Even my sister has to bow down before two worthless scoundrels.
Your Majesty, the baby's position is wrong. Its feet are facing downward. Should we save the mother or the child?
Whatever.
Oh. Doesn't matter if it's a boy or girl, big or small.
In the end, still a son. Sister, don't you think?
Exactly. Isn't the little prince fine here?
True. Smart thinking. Kept it hidden for so long. Even the Zhou family is no match for you.
The Zhou family's mistake is being too proud. Zhou Lanqing thought her knowledge in poetry could encompass everyone, but she overlooked one thing. The person in His Majesty's heart. It's always been the Empress. The late Empress. She's still the Empress. Yuan Zhaoyan. You've had enough chances. If you treated the Feng family better, given them a title, it would have sufficed. But you shouldn't have. Used siblings and discarded afterward.
So you're committing treason?
I fought my whole life, got 37 scars. Each one was for the Yuan dynasty. Today, I'm calling the shots as regent. Brothers, the first to charge earns the title of Marquis.
Hold it, Feng Shua.
You talk grand and righteous.
But have you ever thought about the men behind you? Let me ask you this, the pearl hairpins your wives and concubines wear in your palace. Whose blood money bought them? Was it the court-cutting military funds? Or did you never treat your brothers as men? You fight for Feng Shua, and he hides the truth. This is brotherhood? But have you ever thought about this? Today, he might trade your lives for marquee title. Tomorrow, use another's life to trade for yours. He doesn't even regard me as significant. Why would your lives matter to him? Feng Qiongming, you've been in the palace 10 years. Have I treated you unfairly? I indulged you out of guilt. I gave you a wall to hang all your bows and whips, yet you not only failed to appreciate it but also stirred trouble in front of Qingyan every day. Were you hoping she'd take the hit for you? Is that right?
What have you found out?
You've spent years searching painstakingly. Just found this fake. Must have cost you a lot, huh? Something delivered right to my door. Why not take it for free, Yuan Zhaoyan?
You're despicable.
I humbly accept the compliment. You want everything, both the spotlight and the prize, thinking I'm your prey. But you forgot, when a hunter steps into a trap, he's still holding a bow.
Don't listen to him, everyone. Rebel not today. Tomorrow will be the end of us. Strip their armor. 1,000 knight title for capturing a general. 10,000 knight title for charging.
Idiots. When you showed up, I didn't even flinch. That's when you should have been cautious. Take them down. No need to keep anyone alive.
Your Majesty. The rebels have all been executed. Not a single one left. Understood.
Qingyan. I gave you the chance, but not for this child to be born.
But it's your Majesty's child.
Qingyan. All these years, you haven't changed.
Your Majesty. The Wave Maiden has drained her vitality. Her body is completely worn out. I've used up every medicine I have. She's barely hanging on to her last breath now.
Got it.
Won't your Majesty go see her?
No need. A fake has reached its end. Is there any point in looking anymore? Replace everything in the house, filthy.
I don't understand. How can someone be so passionate? And yet so heartless?
Just like my empress. Let me see then. Which fools think they can exploit this bait to sneak in?
Lan Tian faces beacon fires. Lin Tong's path is the letters reaching Anning Palace never get delayed. Family letters keep coming. It means he still needs someone who can read his intentions clearly. No words needed. No alliances required. Just stand in the right position, and nothing can go wrong.
Miss Wu Qingyan.
Graceful and virtuous. Today, crowned as empress.
The largest pearl of the three is just like the one that fell at my feet 8 years ago.
Long live His Majesty. Come. I'll hold your hand. Don't be afraid.
12 years have passed. Finally, I'm the only woman left in the palace.
Some tried to stir trouble and sent in a few lookalikes.
Take them away.
The next day, officials were dismissed and exiled to a desolate land. Yunyang learned to walk. With her short legs, she dashed through the courtyard and little Shunzi chased, panting like a bull. Her hat fell off, but she wouldn't pick it up.
Little Shunzi.
You can't find me, can you?
When Zhao left court, felt something against his leg and saw Yunyang's upturned face, no matter how many times.
Yuan Zhaoyan would stop. She looked so much like her. He scolded the child for being dirty, but held her tightly.
As time went on,
Yunjoyan and I spoke less and less.
Nyanko wanted to attend the tutor's class, so he had Yunyang sit on his lap.
Father will invite the best scholar from the Hanlin Academy for you. He will find you the finest gold thread embroidered shoes. My dear Yunyang, you must grow up quickly. As Nyanko grows older, he can help assist with some state affairs. Indeed. Every time I brought Nyanko along,
Yunyang would act spoiled with Yuan Zhaoyan. Nyanko stood beside me, head bowed. Like a wooden statue, not a doting mother, let alone a saint. If I hadn't kept her, I'd be left behind.
Yuan Zhaoyan gave it willingly.
Recklessness was tolerated, but crossing the line. Scattering a handful of dust was effortless. Thought there was time, this child could catch a cold. Or accidentally fall into water.
But I never expected she'd look exactly like the Empress.
All my careful schemes were no match for a single twist of fate. Yunyang loved cuddling me, playful as always.
You're the best, sister.
But ever since she started school,
She's been surrounded by
a crowd of maids flattering and pampering.
She drifted away from me, she grew up.
She became a weapon, and the blade turned on me and Nyanku. The chill is here. As years pass, Yuan Zhaoyan's health worsens, the old wounds from the northern battlefield. They act up with every rainy day.
From now on, every memo submitted requires the dual seals of both princesses. Neither can be missing.
Yunyang only checks the signature and seal, not the content. Impulsive, unfit for responsibility, further discussion needed. Hold off implementation for now.
Nyanko seeks
Right or wrong,
Yuan Zhaoyan praises Yunyang's brilliance, rejecting out. After Nyanko left, he turned around as if nothing happened.
Let's go. Join me in the backyard for some.
He held the rod.
But with one cast.
the hook missed.
The line got tangled in a willow branch.
It's all just for fun. Nothing serious. Back in the day, when I was at the northern, 3 days and nights without rest, struck enemy general's armor with one sword.
Yes, I've heard about it. Your Majesty's double arrow terrified the enemy, making them retreat 30 miles overnight.
Of course.
And there he goes again, rambling on about the past. I listened, chiming in every now and then. I know. He didn't call me to fish. He's waiting for me to bring up Yunyang's future. He's still the same as before, always trying to give me some dignity. But now, Wei Feng has grown up. If the old Feng keeps hesitating in yield, would that seem out of place now? The clouds from the west press forward, heavy rain hitting the lake's surface.
Nianku is already 22. He should consider marriage. The young talents I mentioned before, weren't they all paragons among men? She didn't care for a single.
Though words teased, his eyes held no humor.
Could it be she has other plans in mind?
Kids grow up, they naturally have their own ideas. Didn't your Majesty say earlier? Life's major decisions should come from the heart. Nianku may seem reserved.
But she knows her own mind.
If I make the choice for her, she'll be upset. Now that the day has come, he wants me to bow down. Not a chance.
You're forcing my hand. Appoint Wu Lingjun as Sima of Nanzhao, overseeing military and political affairs.
In 3 days, when the edict reaches Lingjun, Ning's trusted ally, he will command the capital garrison and left wing of the Imperial Guard. Many of the young generals were trained under him.
If he's gone,
Ning loses a major stronghold. Then, ministers close to Ning will be reassigned individually. A promotion in name silently clipped Nianku's wings and ordered someone to present portraits of eligible young men in the capital.
Princess, take a look. What kind of husband would you like?
On the 3rd day of 12th lunar month, snow fell. Yuan Zhaoyan's old injury worsened, cold struck his lungs and chilled his heart. Your Majesty.
You must prioritize your health above all. I understand.
Yuan Zhaoyan stared at portraits half a day.
This boy has the look of a general in his eyes. If Nianku marries him, she can manage the household in the future. And assist in military affairs too.
As soon as the decree was partially written, he collapsed. Yuan Zhaoyan slept for 3 days, dreaming throughout. Dreamt of autumn in Tianshui village. The sound of cicadas filled the rice swayed, Usaihua squatted on the ridge, gnawing a raw pumpkin, mud on her mouth. She turned back and smiled at him. Ah Jian, stop spacing out. Come eat. He smiled and reached out to take it, but Guawa didn't catch it. His hand ended up covered in dirt. The earthen walls turned into palace walls, the rice fields into a bloodbath.
Yuan Zhaoyan. You liar. You said if I had you, I wouldn't be lonely. But I've been here for 3 years. And I'm still lonely.
What's that sound?
Few unruly palace servants dealt with. No big deal. You should rest now.
Where's Yunyang? Why hasn't Yunyang come? Where did she go?
Yunyang caught a cold. Father, recover first. Once better, you'll see her again.
What did you do to Yunyang? Guards!
Your Majesty, please don't call out. Yunyang just has a cold. She'll be fine in a few days. If you don't take your medicine how will you go see her?
You wouldn't lie to me, right? You've always understood me the best. When I get better, take me to see Yunyang. The three of us can go back to Tianshui village. I'll do whatever you say.
All right. Qin Yan agrees with your Majesty. Once you're better, I'll take you to see Yunyang. Your family will reunite, never to part again. Tears streamed down. Crying for patience once endured lost dignity, crying for glory and riches to come. The thrill of standing above all. This supreme power in the mortal world. It turns out, it's not innate. It's forged through countless trampled days and nights. Rising from the dust. Struggling to break free.